Today we're going to be talking about The Mummy, or as I like to call it, that movie where Tom Cruise stars, and I expect at any moment he's going to jump up and shout, "Show me the mummy!" Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, last night or 2 nights ago actually, I saw The Mummy, and I'm going to go ahead and do a quick review of it. Long story short, it's worth seeing. Not a great movie, but not a horrible one either. It's just got some ridiculous parts. And yes, there will be spoilers in this, so if you haven't seen it yet, long story short again, I recommend seeing it. I didn't feel like I got ripped off by spending $8 or $9 or whatever it was to get in. But, don't expect something that's going to win an Oscar or an Academy Award, and expect it to be pretty ridiculous. All right, so spoilers. Okay, so the plot is that Tom Cruise plays this military guy. He's like a sergeant in a recon battalion or company or something. And he has this kind of a sidekick who does everything he tells him to do. And they're treasure hunters on the side, right? They're in Iraq. They're tooling around and going places they're not supposed to go, all with the purpose of stealing antiquities. And, it was a very strange role for Tom Cruise. And I thought that some of the dialogue was horrible because, look, when you're talking about the military, you got to get it right, right? There are certain ways they talk, certain things they say, certain things they will do or not do, no matter how crooked they are. And the person who wrote the script got it wrong. At one point, the female lead in this movie, the female good lead, the blonde woman, Annabelle Wallis, she mentions an organization that's supposedly funding or responsible for her to team up with the military and go and save antiquities throughout the Middle East. And she refers to DTRA. First of all, the military, if they can at all get around it, they will pronounce out the acronym or the initials for something. So that actually is Defense Threat Reduction Agency, and everyone in the military community just says DTRA. They don't say DTRA. Even civilians associated with the military know to say DTRA, right? Okay, it may sound nitpicky, but there's a lot of that kind of crap, and it just started to get old after a while. So the plot is basically Tom Cruise goes where he's not supposed to go. He runs into ISIS or some band of terrorists, almost gets killed, but then gets saved by a drone. But in the meantime, his unit catches up with him. He gets in a lot of trouble. And Annabelle's character comes in, and basically they find this old tomb where, you go back to the old mummy movie, and basically you've got a princess in this case instead of a priest, but a princess who betrayed her father and killed him and his wife gets sealed in this cursed tomb, right? This tomb designed to bury her alive and keep her there and prevent her from ever, coming out as an evil spirit or anything like that. That was a great part. Some of the scenes where they set up the mummy's tomb and other places are really creepy, really well done, and very suspenseful. And those are the kinds of moments that save this movie. So anyway, getting back to the story, Annabelle is in charge of Tom Cruise and his sidekick. They go into this pit and they find this big pool of mercury, and Annabelle's kind of scratching her head wondering what to do when Tom Cruise looks around, sees how the contraption works, where something is hidden in the pool, and he pulls out his pistol and shoots this chain that's holding in whatever's in the pit of mercury, and out comes this big sarcophagus, and they're all looking at it in awe. And then from there on, the story goes pretty similar to the old mummy stories. They take the sarcophagus out, ignoring all the supernatural warnings. Eventually, the mummy escapes the sarcophagus after a plane crashes, and before you know it, Tom Cruise is with Annabelle, and he's being introduced to her boss, who happens to be, and this is where kind of the movie does one of its jump the shark moments. That's the problem with this movie. Just when you're starting to get into it, just when things are creepy and they're horrifying and there are scenes where you get scared, just when you start getting into it, they kind of pull you out of it by doing stupid things like the DTRA thing, and by doing things like injecting characters like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde are in this movie. Russell Crowe plays the character, and he does a really good job, but I don't think even his acting ability can kind of save this script from itself, or make it from a mediocre, meh, entertaining movie into something that's solid and much better. So that was a problem for me. Russell Crowe, Dr. Jekyll, he basically runs this secret organization that's dedicated to hunting monsters and evil and studying them and then destroying the evil. And he brings the sarcophagus back, and they capture the princess, and there's this knife that the princess is trying to stab Tom Cruise with, because Tom Cruise is somehow the chosen one, and if she stabs him with this special knife, the devil, Satan, Set, all the same characters according to this movie, will come and basically take over, possess Tom Cruise, and he and the princess or evil mummy chick will live forever together and rule the world. Now, speaking of the Princess Mummy, she is fantastic. Whoever cast this particular actress, I think her name is Sofia Boutella. I mean, I actually found myself throughout the movie, she does such a good job, and she's so she's hot in this role. She's totally attractive. And I found myself several times rooting for her, wanting her to basically stab Tom Cruise and then them get together and ride off into the sunset and rule an evil, destroyed world. I really kind of wanted that to happen, because it was kind of some of the stuff going on was just absolutely ridiculous. But I really liked her character. I did. I found myself relating to her character more than Tom Cruise. And getting back to what I said in the intro, Tom Cruise basically plays the same character he did in Jerry Maguire. It's this kind of lovable but a little bit corrupt and with a conscience, though, thief, or kind of what's the word I'm looking for? He's not corrupt, but he's just basically, you don't trust the guy. He steals, he lies, he cheats, that kind of thing. But he's got a heart of gold, right? And so at any moment, I expected him to jump up and shout, "Show me the mummy!" But it never happened. Anyway, without giving away the ending, the ending didn't work. I'm going to go ahead and give away the ending. The ending didn't work for me either. All throughout the movie, she can control Tom Cruise because he was the one who freed the mummy. He shot the chain. And so she has this psychic control over him and can get him to do whatever she wants. But then all of a sudden at the end, that control stops. Somehow, she's about to kill him at one point. She controls him, gets him lying down, is about to kill him early on in the movie with the knife to bring in Set. She realizes that part of the knife is missing and that it won't work. Well, at the end of the movie, suddenly she has no control over Tom Cruise, and Tom has to somehow willingly join her and be killed by her. And it's like, wait a second, where did this come from? It totally doesn't make any sense. Earlier she can control him and kill him, and now she can't. So there was that problem with the ending. In the ending, Tom Cruise decides to take the knife, put in this special jewel, the part that was missing, and kill himself with his special knife. And I'm thinking to myself, well, wait a second, that's what she wanted in the first place. Why is that a problem? So basically, he's doing what she wanted him to do. It broke down. The ending completely broke down. And I say this in a lot of my movie reviews. Get a good script writer. Whoever wrote this script was writing it. Basically, here's what's going on. These guys don't care about a good story. What they want is something that will fill seats with gimmicks, with crud, with, blah, 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 and then have a sequel. They want the sequel. They want to churn. They want to make money. And it was obvious in this movie that's what was going on. The last problem I had with this movie was the CGI. The CGI was horrible. Throughout the movie, this mummy princess, raises the dead to come and help her as sidekicks. And they move with this, they kind of come up with this herky-jerky motion that it totally reminded me of a cross between, stop motion photography and maybe some clips from The Ring, where you get this weird jerky motion of the evil spirit, but it didn't work. It totally didn't work. I almost expected, Michael Jackson to jump out at some point and start going into his Thriller routine. It was awful. The CGI was really, really bad, and they needed to improve it. Anyway, so that's my review. I sound like it was completely negative and a bad experience. It wasn't. I was entertained. I walked out of there thinking, it wasn't so bad. But at the same time, do not go into this expecting to be blown away. It's just not that kind of a movie. It's silly. It's ill-conceived, but it's entertaining. And so for that, I'd say don't wait for the DVD or whatever. Go see it in a theater. It's something that's fun to laugh at the very least. End transmission. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. Look, now that YouTube is censoring everybody, we all need to work together. So please, click the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to my channel, and do one small thing for me. Share this on social media. Share it on Twitter, Facebook, I don't care which. Every social media thing you're subscribed to, however little you're willing to do, however much. Also consider buying my books. I'm an award-winning author, and you get what you pay for. You'll at least have some enjoyment out of them. I'm not asking for charity. Take a look at my books. All the links are below. Thanks for watching.